Aloha, everybody, and welcome to part 3 of Sonic Rivals. And here we have Knuckles pondering about Angel Island, pondering why there are two in the sky right now. How can that be? That doesn't make sense. How could this be Angel Island from the future? It's crazy. Oh, watch out for this sick burn right here. Looks like the doctor got away from you again. So, yeah. We just finished Sky Park. We are now moving on to Crystal Mountain. Crystal Mountain is actually my favorite zone in the game. I don't know why. I feel like the first one is really fun to replay over and over again. There's something about it I really don't know. And it's not because I'm Canadian and I like snow. It's just, I really like playing this level over and over again. I really don't know why. Again, some people may question whether I find this game fun or not. It has its moments. It has fun moments. I mean, if you're into the racing aspect of it, it's going to be fine and dandy. You know, it has its fun moments. I don't think it's broken. I don't think there are so many glitches that it ruins the experience. It's a fine, playable game. It's just the entire concept is not something that, in my opinion, lasts. It doesn't make you want to replay it over and over and over again. Just the Rivals gimmick. You know, with Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles, there is a reward with exploration. You know, finding life boxes, finding rings so that you can get to the Chaos Emeralds. You know, there are no Chaos Emeralds in this game at all. Isn't that weird? The big bad villain of this game's plot doesn't involve stealing the Chaos Emeralds and using them to dominate the world. There are no special stages. Maybe you'll find Chaos Emeralds like cards, but that's it. There's no Chaos Emeralds in this game. Ain't that weird? Anywho, there are no special stages in Sonic Rivals, so I have like 141 rings right now. But I don't need them because they're only good for my S rank. That's really it. I mean, and keeping myself alive. But if I do die, I just spawn like right where I died anyway. So, you know, it's not a big deal. Chaos Control! It doesn't have exploration going for it. You can't stop and smell the roses. Like, I have to keep moving. I have to just keep going and going and vaulting and pulling off these little tricks and knowing which vault to do correctly. They always give you a button prompt they suggest to you. Like, when you hit a vault, it'll go like, circle! And that's because if you go circle, there's probably going to be a power up there. And if you push X because it's moving too fast and you're just really tense and like, oh! Then you'll go the opposite direction, but maybe you wanted to go circle because that would have been better for you. A lot of things come way too fast in Sonic Rivals. You know, I always get hit by enemies not because they're tough or anything, but because I just don't see them fast enough. They always surprise me. Like, I'll just be running and then boom, there's an egg pond, and it's like, oh shit, and then I run into them and take damage. I couldn't push my kick button in time because they just came on screen way too fast, you know? I never find that with other Sonic games. I always find that even the fast Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles, I could always see my enemies coming, and I'll run into a lot in every Sonic game, but, you know, it's a big problem with Sonic Rivals. There's no smelling the roses, there's no exploration, there's no special stages, there's no Chaos Emeralds. I mean, when you're doing all 4 playthroughs, again, everyone handles the same, the levels don't change at all. There's no difficulty. It's not like Shadow is hard mode and Silver is easy mode or anything. You played Act 1 of Crystal Mountain, you've played it with every single character. So there's no surprises when you do a second playthrough, a third playthrough, a fourth playthrough. Once you've beaten the game with all 4 characters and now you know the full story, and you're pretty much done with it, I find. I'm done with Sonic Rivals. Not a particularly long game, not a particularly rewarding game. I mean, it's alright. I'm not trying to say it's not fun. It has its moments. It's fun, you know. It's just, it's kind of bland and forgettable, you know. It's not that great. The other Sonic games just have so much more going on. But here I am being a negative Nelly in the dark age of Sonic, which is not a good thing. But yeah, I like Crystal Mountain the best out of all the zones. I don't know if it's because everything seems a lot more clear. You know, it's not nighttime in Sky Park. You can tell which direction you need to go, and I like a lot of the bouncing puzzles. Like in Act 1, I had to bounce right to left to right to left on these springs in order to go and be the fastest that I could and make it up this little area, you know? I like platforming like that. It's kind of fun. Some people may be asking about the soundtrack of Sonic Rivals, and again, like I said, you know, I didn't say anything about the soundtrack before, but this game is bland and forgettable, and the soundtrack as well is pretty bland and forgettable. You're not going to get any cool lyrical themes like "Live and learn, hanging on the edge of tomorrow." I love that. I love my butt rock. I love Crush 40. It is the best thing ever. The themes are not as catchy as your Emerald Hills, your Hydro City Act 2s, your Green Hill Zones, you know. I know what the songs sound like now. I'm listening to Crystal Mountain now, but I guarantee you a week from now, when I'm on to my next LP or I'm just doing other things, I'm not going to remember what this song was, you know. I'm not going to remember what the music was. It's the same thing like Shadow the Hedgehog, you know. I would say Shadow the Hedgehog soundtrack is more memorable. There's nothing about Sonic Rivals that's memorable. Even when they actually brought a Sonic Rivals song to Generations, I don't know anyone who plays that song. It's the Forest Falls theme. Forest Falls theme, who cares about it? It's boring, it's bland, it's a theme, I guess. It just doesn't stack up there with the rest of Sonic's musical library. Again, I don't want to bash this game. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. Don't get me wrong, kids who are sensitive. Kids who are sensitive. These are who I'm trying to calm down. But, yeah, just music-wise, not my cup of tea. It does have the Sonic Adventure 2 fanfare theme, though, right there. I know that song, because it was in Sonic Adventure 2 and Heroes. Eggman Nega, who I'm looking for, would never let his camera out of his sight, so that means you must be Eggman Nega! Well now, that's an interesting theory, but do you have any proof? Eggman Nega has been in the series before Sonic Rivals. If you're unfamiliar, Eggman Nega was in Sonic Rush, and he was basically the alternate dimension version of Dr. Eggman. And, you know, everything about Sonic Rush was alternate dimension. You know, Blaze was like alternate Sonic. The Soul Emeralds were the opposite dimension Chaos Emeralds and whatnot. And then again, of course, I mentioned this before in the Sonic 06 review, but they decided to change Blaze's backstory so that she was from the future. And since this game is coming out 2 weeks after Sonic 06, they decided that, I guess if Blaze is from the future, well then Eggman Nega has to be from the future too, you know? Like, it seemed like they were trying to eliminate that whole alternate dimension storyline, and maybe they were going to try and retcon Sonic Rush so that Sonic Rush was actually about people from the future and not an alternate dimension, you know? I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what was going on with the story concept minds behind everyone with this game. But Eggman Nega is now from the future. He is not from an alternate dimension. He is now from the future, and now Silver knows him, and Silver is trying to stop Eggman Nega because he is, you know, Silver is basically the Sonic to Eggman Nega's Eggman, basically. So, now you know. But anywho, folks, the Egg Lynx! Yeah, it's the Egg Lynx, Jesus Christ. This is the Egg Lynx. Basically, very simple pattern. He occasionally shoots these missiles at you, very easy to dodge, just, you know, they move slow enough, you can air dash out of the way of them. Your rival will constantly be bouncing around, you can hit him for homing attack, launching, you know. It's a very small horseshoe ring, so there's nowhere else for the rival to be. If he sees you, he will try to attack you just because there's no boss to attack. So fuck off, Knuckles, leave me alone. There's an evil scientist right here trying to kill us, who somehow carved his face into the ice sculpture behind him. I don't know how he did that. That's very talented. But, again, he comes in, he ground pounds, he creates a wave with that ground pound, so you have to jump over that. But then you just use the claw to get a little extra height, and then just jump onto the dome, and that's pretty much it. As I said before, the boss fights in Sonic Rivals are super easy. There really is no problem with any of these boss fights. I don't find any of them super challenging. And your rival barely gets in the way. How many hits does Knuckles have in on Eggman here? 0? You have 0 hits, Knuckles? Well, if the shoe fits... Shut up! I guess he shoots more missiles the more you hurt him, though. Holy shit. Come on, Egglings. Dive! Dive! There he goes. He's diving. What? I hit that! Come on! I somehow walked on top of the dome. I've never walked on top of the Eggmobile in Sonic 2. Okay, I just pointed out a glitch when I said this game wasn't really glitchy, but, you know, there it is. Boom! No more Egglinks. Shadow wins. Fatality. Okay, not fatality. He escaped in his Eggmobile again. Hey, I got an Eggman card. The Doctor's been turned into a card too, just like Rouge. But how would the Doctor have a card of himself? It doesn't make any sense. Huh? It's that silver hedgehog from before. This all started when he showed up. He's got to know something about what this is all about. You. Hey, you! Why don't you tell me why you're trailing the Doctor, huh? What? You! You're Shadow! My silver voice is still annoying! The man that you refer to as Doctor, there's a chance that he's not the real Eggman. What? Oh my god, could we actually be facing off with Eggman Nega and not Dr. Eggman? Oh my god, the plot twist! If you've never heard of Sonic Rush before seeing this playthrough, Eggman Nega is literally a recolor of Dr. Eggman. I kid you not. They made his jacket black, his pants red, they sort of changed the design a little bit, and then they gave him a white mustache. And that's it. That's Eggman Nega. Oh, I love that. It just doesn't make sense, because I'm an idiot. Shut up! Okay, I'm gonna stop with the jokes. I swear. I swear. Curse you, Sonic! I won't forget this! Yes, I got Tails' card back! Woo! So hey, we saved Tails, and apparently if someone could be turned into a card, they can just bring him back. Why didn't Eggman take a picture, or why didn't Eggman Nega take a picture of Sonic, Knuckles, Shadow, Silver at all during the storyline? Like in the beginning of the game, he tells Sonic that he turned Tails and Amy into a card. Why would you bother telling him that? Just pull out your camera, because you got it in your hands, take a picture of Sonic, and then boom! Sonic's in a card. Now Sonic is a card, and you have the ultimate card collection! Oh, my evil, nefarious plan to be the goddamn Yu-Gi-Oh! Master. It's time to duel Dan Green's Knuckles! Oh my god, is Knuckles secretly Yugi? Now that's a spin-off. That's a terrible idea. Anywho, this zone is called Death Yard. It is a junkyard zone. I will give Sonic Rivals this credit. It has some pretty original themes, considering 2006 Sonic, you know? I never saw a junkyard level in Sonic before. At least I don't think I have. An amusement park level, well, we've had Carnival Night Zone and Sonic 3 and Knuckles and stuff, but I don't remember having, like, the roller coasters and the hot air balloons and stuff, and the Coliseum, you know, kind of setting where, you know, you had, like, Roman statues and stuff like that, and weird white pillars and stuff. So the themes, aside from, like, Forest Falls, are kind of fresh, kind of, you know, new. I'll give that to Sonic Rivals. You can also tell when you've affected your opponent after doing your special move or launching a gadget, because every now and then you'll just look on the screen, and my rival right now is Sonic, and you'll see like Sonic's head have like stars above his head, or Sonic's head will be frozen or something, so you know it happened. I always like to shoot my gadgets all over the place. Like every time I get a gadget, I just immediately drop it, because when you have a gadget, you can't pick up another gadget. So, you know, go gadget! If I have an ice block, I'll just drop it, you know. Because this game has rubber banding and the AI really isn't actually playing in the levels like the game wants us to believe, even though I could put the ice block in a really stupid location that there's no way the AI would actually run into, he'll run into it, I swear to you. That's a good tip for this game. If you're having trouble with this game, honestly, just launch your projectiles haphazardly wherever, and I guarantee you, even if you think he won't run into your ice block, believe me, the rubber banding automatically forces him to touch that ice block. That is what I have found, you know? Like, I don't know this game inside and out. I'm not super mega expert, but I'm just telling you from what I feel about playing Sonic Rivals for a long time. I feel like just dropping a gadget wherever, the AI will just run into it just because he will, you know? And again, that's why I don't spin dash. As you see, I got really strung up right there, and I couldn't go up that area because momentum, you know? You try spin dashing up a hill, eventually you're going to roll back down that hill because you can't keep momentum forever. I mean, this isn't like Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles perfect momentum, but it just has some momentum, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, dude? Why aren't you talking to me? Where am I? Oh, God. Anyway, that's my last time playing as Knuckles, because I've let him win way too much. I will see you in Death Yard Act 2. And, yeah. Toodles.